In August 2025, the US government slapped reciprocal tariffs on Indian goods.
We made a lot of progress, and as you know, we put a 50% tariff on India.
हमारे लिए अपने किसानों का हित सर्वोच्च प्राथमिकता है। व्यक्तिगत रूप से मुझे बहुत बड़ी कीमत चुकानी पड़ेगी, लेकिन मैं इसके लिए तैयार हूं।
The total duty is now hitting about 50%. I will give you a practical roadmap to survive this tariff shock and come out stronger.
And President Trump is threatening to raise tariffs on Indian goods.
President Trump says he will, quote, substantially raise tariffs on India.
That 25% tariff.
U.S. President Donald Trump has announced that he will raise the tariffs on India very substantially.
U.S. President Donald Trump has once again threatened to raise tariffs on India substantially.
The U.S. President says he will impose 25% tariffs on all goods imported from India.
Imagine losing half of your US revenue overnight. That's not a nightmare. That's the new reality. In August 2025, the US government slapped reciprocal tariffs on Indian goods. And for many goods, the total duty is now hitting about 50%. For millions of factories, exporters, and jobs tied to them, this is an emergency. So the question is, do you fold, do you fight, or do you pivot? In these next 5 minutes, I will give you a practical roadmap to survive this tariff shock and come out stronger. Here's the plan. 4 steps: triage, reroute, reprice, and rebuild. I will now show you exactly what each means. Fast actions for next 72 hours and bigger moves over next 2 years that can shield your business permanently. Before I get into the further details, please do consider subscribing to this channel if the subjects of business, finance, and economy are of your interest. First, let us begin with some of the facts. In 2024, the US imported about $87 billion worth of goods from India. This August, the new tariff adds 25% extra on many of these goods, stacked on top of existing duties, which pushes some rates up to 50%. India's own estimates say that roughly about 55% of our US-bound exports are at risk. The most exposed sectors are textiles, apparel, gems and jewelry, leather, certain chemicals and machinery. And one more thing, US Customs has made it very clear, try to hide behind transshipment and penalties would be brutal. So our first step has to be triage. Do these 4 things in the next 72 hours. Number 1, map your SKUs. Make a one-page table. Product, HS code, your US customer, landed cost today, landed cost if tariffs go up by about 25% or 50%, and the margin gap. I have shown a suggested template that should be good, but you may choose to have your own template. Idea is to have your US business on a single sheet for better understanding and clarity. Why? Because you need to exactly know which products will survive and which has to die. Number 2, file exclusion petitions where your HS code qualifies. Number 3, talk to your top US buyers. Propose short-term cost splits or delayed shipments. Protect relationships. And number 4, freeze all non-essential spends tied to US orders until you know the full impact. Now step 2 is reroute. Change your supply chain so that tariff doesn't land on your final product. Option 1 that you have is move final assembly or finishing to hubs like Mexico, Vietnam or UAE. That can change the country of origin and reduce duty for you. Option 2 is legally change your product design or components, also called as tariff engineering. This is to reclassify your HS code, but always consult your trade counsel. And option 3, protect yourself from transshipment trouble. Document every step. Be ready for audits. In 2025, compliance is as important as cost. Your step 3 has to be reprice and protect your cash. Add temporary tariff surcharge to invoices or use contract clauses that adjust prices when landed costs change. Run a 90-day cost review. Renegotiate supplier clauses, combine shipments, and cut inventory headed to US. And finally, secure export credit or working capital loans now before the cash gets tight. Step 4, rebuild. This is your 6 to 36 months plan. Diversify markets. Push harder into EU, UK, Middle East, ASEAN and Latin America. Move up the value chain. create branded, design-led products that can't be swapped out for a cheaper alternative. Localize key inputs, produce or source critical parts in tariff-neutral countries. And don't forget, services, software, and after sales. These earn higher margins, and they don't sit in shipping containers waiting for the tariffs. Take Meena, a textile exporter with about $1.5 million in US business. Her SKU audit in 48 hours showed 60% of her revenue was at risk. She filed an exclusion product for her specialized fabric, split the extra cost 50-50 with the biggest US buyer, moved finishing to a partner in Vietnam for one product line, and redirected rest to EU customers. The result? She kept 70% of her revenue and gained time to rebrand. Tariffs this big don't just change prices, they rewrite strategy. The choice for Indian businesses is not between surrender or brinksmanship. It's between intelligent triage and deliberate reinvention. Start with that 72-hour SKU audit and tell me in comments which sector should I model next for real numbers. If US can make tariffs a weapon, can you make agility your defense? Let's begin with creating that playbook now. If you have liked the content of this video, please do not forget to like it and subscribe the channel, and do share it with someone who may need to know. Be inspired, keep building.